Okay, so I've now adhered all the paper to my pages, like so. Hope you can see. So that's me got my 6 pages ready, they're covered, and I've gone ahead and put my tape onto each fin. Now you put your tape on the front and the back and as close to the middle on either side, so it's like down, obviously so that your pages adhere well. I've used score tape. You can use glossy accents. I would normally use a little bit of glossy accents because it adheres really well and it's easier to do once you've got them in position. So I'm going to start, let's make sure I'm in frame here, I'm going to start attaching these to the fins, and always making sure if you've got paper that will, has got a specific pattern on it, then to make sure that it's the right way up and you don't stick it on upside down. So you just kind of, I'm not sure if you can see, just kind of lining it up to just slightly before the score line so that it allows it to bend, open and close, sorry, and making sure that I've got equal parts top and bottom. And the lighting is really bad in here. So then that one's down and I kind of worry about peeling the back one off later. Once I've got all this lined up, it's so much easier. So again, I do the same with this one. I'll do it that way. I just kind of slot it on. Now when you're using, if you've made your pages yourself, I find the cardstock is so much easier to work with. Don't know why. Like if you're using like envelopes or pages that you've made from like 12 by 12s or whatever, I find that if it sticks down and it's in the wrong position, it's a bit tricky to get it off. But that's just me. Could be me. So my next one, just flip it over, take the tape off, making sure I've got it the right way. So that's that one done. So quick and easy to do this. Well, I think it is anyway. So there we go. And you can do this any size you like. You've just obviously just got to change all your measurements. So it doesn't have to be like 4x4. This one's a little bit stuck and skew with, so just take your bond folder in and just line it up a little bit better, like so. And making sure that's the right way. So that's you then got all your pages connected. So I normally just go in the back with a craft knife and take off the, and this one I actually put in a little bit deeper than I should have. So I have made a mistake just on this one. Just peel that out and stick it down, and that's both sides of your pages securely stuck down to your, and it's easier doing, I find it easier doing it like this than actually taking it all off and trying to stick it on, because if you get both sides stuck down it can be a bit of a pain in the rear end to get it out, and especially if you've done everyone's so perfect and then it's on the last one, and you just feel like you've just wasted your whole time because you've ripped it and you've just ruined everything that you've done. And finally the last one here, and that's it, completely stuck. That's you with your binding, which you will then attach to whatever the cover that you make. So that's quick and easy. I've already cut the chipboard pieces, so what I'm going to do is go and find what paper I'm going to use to cover this with, and I will be right back. Okay, right, I've decided I'm going to use some white on here, and then I'm going to cover the front, the back and the spine. So what I'll do here, and I've just actually used some old chipboard that I have. Recycle if you can. So I'm just going to put my tape on. You can use wet glue if you like, but I like to use some strong tape, especially on the spine and the covers. You really don't want them falling apart. And they probably take more of the wear and tear when just have to scrape a little bit of this off because it's a bit this I like to put a lot on because it does hold it all together. In real time this actually takes about with cutting your pages and gluing them down without actually totally decorating your pages, but just putting down the main backing papers, probably takes about an hour if that. It's just the deciding on how to totally decorate it that takes what takes me a little bit longer to do. Okay, here you want to give, just making sure that I'm all in the camera's view here, leaving a good bit at the sides to fold over and at the bottom, and keeping it pretty straight so it's not going off. Then you attach your spine and just leaving a tiny little, I'm not sure if you can see, but you just leave a tiny little gap to allow it to fold and to bend, and just keeping it all even. And then finally adding the back. So that's what you have, and just take your scissors and cut this. Try and keep it pretty straight and then trim a little bit off here, try and keep it all even. Then what I do is I kind of mitre the corners so that when you fold it in you haven't got big lumps. I'm sure you've all kind of done this before anyway. Just bend this over, kind of start from the middle so that you don't get it all going wrong. Then what I do, you can use wet glue if you like, but I'm going to use this and just okay, then you just obviously peel off your tape if you can. I've hardly got any nails at the moment. Okay, struggling here. Okay, then you fold this in and just rub it along. Use your bond folder. I'll just start from the middle and push it out. At this point I just kind of gently bend it in. I mean, sometimes it's a good idea as well if you want to use some Mod Podge on your covers, just to give it some added strength, because sometimes the paper will kind of tear here. So if you Mod Podge it, it'll be okay. So now I'm just going to measure in here to add some paper on here, and I see here I cut this a bit off and you can see a tiny little bit of the backing paper, but what I'll do is I've got a white gel pen, so I'll just fill that in with that. So it's 26 centimetres across and I'm going to go 10.5 that way, so I'm just going to cut the paper. You can hear my squeaky trimmer. It needs oiling. Oh, a little bit more off like that. That's a horrid noise. Okay, that's better. So again, just using your tape. Oh, now I've got a phone call. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. It's one of them silly automated services ringing. They are so annoying. So I'm just adding my tape along here. And at this point I actually add some tape in here on the spine, because you don't want this all kind of loose, and because then it won't hold your your album in place, and then a little bit in here as well. I hope I'm explaining this clearly, and if not, then just ask. And if memory serves me right, this camera of mine doesn't pick up the best volume, so you might have to turn it right up, and you may have to put earphones in. Because when I video on my my iPhone, it only allows me to upload with 15 minutes, but if I do it through this, it lets me upload you know, a hell of a lot more than that. Okay, so you kind of line it up, and I like to try and do one bit at a time and get it to this line, and then kind of give it a little fold so that there's no kind of air in there, and then again get to this fold, and you can see you can kind of rub that out. So there we go, and that's that. These do rub out because I had the same problem when I done the one for Louise, and it was just a little bit of time, and it kind of came right. So it's just about bending it, and there we go. So that's, sorry, I hope I wasn't off that frame then. So that's that. Then all you have to do is take your tape from this, I'm going to add another piece in the middle here. So I added another piece in here. This is where glossy accents would be really good, actually. Then it's just about making sure I've got the right front and back, and just lining it up, making sure it's even all the way around, top and bottom, front and back, and then just push that down and that's you with your album. So it's as easy as that. And then all you've got to do is decorate your front. I'm actually going to put some decorate the front, the spine, and the back on this, because white isn't ideal. It'll get really dirty really quickly, and I might Mod Podge this as well. So this is what I'm going to do so far, because I have to go to work soon. So what I will do is I will film the rest as I'm doing it, but that's the basic construction of the album. If there isn't anything, if there is something that you don't understand, or I've been out of frame, just ask me, and I will try my best to answer your question. But that's how it's done, or that's how I do it. And you just make your pockets, make your tags for your pockets. Sorry, you can also go around, and if you wanted to punch, like a half circle out on this, you can do. And you can use any coloured cardstock you like, and you can do it for any type of album and any size of album as well. This big, where is it? This one here that I'd done. Let me just move the camera. Yeah, this one here, the family one. It's exactly the same binding method, and it was just about using envelopes, and I created these pages with 2 envelopes, the the long envelopes that you get when you get a bill. Just used the white ones. I bought a lot of white ones, and trimmed the edge off to make the pockets for this one. Attached it exactly the same as I've attached on this one, and then on here just folded one envelope in half, having the longer parts up here and the bottom, the bottom part being shorter, and just kind of attaching them down and adding the papers, and then adding them on top of the full-sized envelope. So it's just as easy as that. So it just shows you can make one as small as this, or as big as that, and even bigger. Just depends on what you're doing and how you want it. So thanks for watching. Any questions, just ask, and happy crafting. Bye.